With me in the studio today I have Gill Cleeren from Belgium.
Hi.
You have 2 sessions here, but
yeah,
before
indeed.
we talk about the session, could you introduce yourself?
Of course. So my name is Gill Cleeren. Actually, that's the correct pronunciation. So I'm indeed from Belgium, where I work as a .NET architect at Ordina, which is a huge consultancy firm. And I'm a Microsoft Regional Director and a Silverlight MVP. So this year is my first year Silverlight MVP. Before I've been Silverlight ASP.NET MVP for several years. This year I finally switched over teams.
I think we know about MVPs, but could you talk a little bit about Regional Director?
Of course.
What's that? What's the difference?
Well, in fact, the group of MVPs for starters, so it's like I think little over 3,000, perhaps 4,000 MVPs, and regional directors. There are 120 all over the world. So yeah, the word regional director, many people think you are bound to a region, but in fact you are a tight group that has many interactions with product teams and with the people from Microsoft. We have many interactions with the product teams, with the people inside, that are actually one group of people that talk at conferences, give product feedback to Microsoft. And yeah, it can be compared to the MVP program, of course, but yeah, there is a lot less people in there. And one big difference also is that it's not tied to a specific technology. So you're not an ASP.NET regional director, you're just a regional director and you focus on many things.
Okay, and you was a Silverlight MVP, I was. But this the 2 sessions that you have on at this TechDays is for the first building a Windows 7 app from start to finish,
yes.
And then what do you as an ASP.NET developers should know about jQuery?
Yeah.
Should we talk a bit about the both session and start
sure.
with the Windows Phone session?
Yeah.
What's your main purpose about this session?
So what I've noticed, I've done quite a few Windows Phone 7 sessions already, is that many people know that it's there, but they really don't have a clue how they should start. There's 2 technologies that you can build with, Silverlight, XNA. And so the goal of this talk is actually giving people an overview from the very start, like installing Visual Studio for phone or the tools, up until having a fully working application at the end. So yeah, because of time constraints, I'm not going to do the typing of the code, because then it would just be a Hello World application. So I think I have 10 specific features that I'm going to explain. It's a lot of content, and I'm going to try explaining all the things that are actually can make up a full working application. So at the end of the presentation, we end up with a fully working application.
And you put it in marketplace, and then you.
Perhaps I can do that. Perhaps I can do that. Yes, yes. It's a real scenario. So the scenario for the application is I'm a movie fan, and I like buying Blu-ray discs, and so the scenario is I have an app that I can type in my Blu-rays that I have, so a collector kind of application, because I often find myself in a store and I think, do I have this Blu-ray or not? And so with this application I can have it on my phone wherever I am. So that's the scenario of the application, the Blu-ray collector.
What do you like most about the Windows 7 developer platform? Okay,
so I think the fact that it's Silverlight, and the fact that if you know Silverlight already, if you know .NET in general already, there is very little to learn, and you can leverage what you already know. So if you know .NET, things like link, things like threading, globalization, all those things are exactly the same in Windows Phone. So you can leverage that. If you know Silverlight, you know XAML, you know the data binding platform, you know how to access services, all those things, you can also leverage that in Windows Phone. So I think by using Silverlight for a mobile development, as a mobile development platform, Microsoft really made a smart move by immediately embracing many thousands of developers that could immediately start building mobile applications. So the fact that you use Silverlight to build your apps on a mobile device, that's really my thing that I like most about the Windows Phone
Have you
platform.
worked with XNA or?
No.
It's so strange.
It's really strange for me as a business application developer. So in my daily job, I also do business applications, so data intensive applications. And so XNA, that's a whole different world. I've never made the step into XNA. A colleague of mine does it, but no, I haven't done any.
So you don't have a secret dream to be a game developer?
No. No.
Okay.
I'm not. I don't play games either. So
What?
no. I'm not. I'm not.
Cut!
I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I'm always going to conferences and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Your next session, I think that's also rather interesting, and well, it's a bit provocative, I think. What do you, as an ASP.NET developers, should know about jQuery? What's this jQuery, and why should I, as ASP.NET developers?
Well, the goal of that session is twofold. First, giving an overview what jQuery is, what you can do with it, and secondly, introducing people that already know ASP.NET today, web forms or MVC, how jQuery can help building them better applications. So applications that are more interactive on the client side and have a lot of.
And yes, what do jQuery add?
Okay. So jQuery is basically, it's nothing more or less than just a JavaScript framework, an open source JavaScript library that you can use in your applications to make eventing much simpler, to manipulate elements on your page, to create interactive pages, to create small animations even on inside of your applications. Then you have Jquery Ui, which is a plugin, and that you can use to make richer controls and interactions with your applications. So the final goal of using jQuery is actually using JavaScript in a much more easy way than just JavaScript, because you don't have browser dependencies. It all does that for you. And by using it in your apps, you're gonna end up with applications that are much richer on the client, because they use a lot of client-side functionality.
I understand this with ASP.NET MVC, where we have more control over the HTML and JavaScript. But how do you do it in the web forms, where we have server controls?
Well, of course, for the server controls, that's not the part where jQuery shines in the case that you use web forms. But for example, if you use Ajax, if you want to do Ajax calls, you have more control over those Ajax controls with web forms as well. So instead of using ASP.NET Ajax, you can use jQuery to do your Ajax calls.
So the update panel is gone and so on?
Yeah, you can work without the update panel indeed. Yes, yeah, that works.
And could you tell a little bit about jQuery and Microsoft? Well, how do we participate in this?
Well, that's an interesting question. So last year at Mix, Microsoft announced that they were ceasing the further development of the Ajax client library, which was part of the ASP.NET Ajax offering. So that was a full client-side library. And they actually stopped the further development of that, and instead they were going to focus on building jQuery plugins. And so Microsoft became a contributor for the jQuery project, and they follow the same steps that other contributors have to do as well. So they first started by bringing some of the functionality of the client-side library available as a jQuery plugin. So they proposed those plugins, they were a bit reviewed, and then last year, I think at the end of the year in October somewhere, those plugins were officially recognized and made available on the jQuery website.
So now when you do a new project in Visual Studio, you get the jQuery?
You get jQuery, that as well. So Microsoft is both building plugins and indeed also setting or adding, let's say, jQuery as the default JavaScript or scripting files inside of each web forms project and an MVC project. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Gill, and have a really nice day here in Sweden, even that it's snowing right now.
It's snowing, and at home it's much hotter. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.